All right. Hey, Ugly Mug friends out there. So I hope you guys have been enjoying a lot of the information that we've been putting out here and finding it useful. So today I am joined with two very good friends of mine. I am joined with Katie Moffit with Moffit Orthodontics. She owner, operator, all that good fun stuff. And then I'm also joined with Heather Moylan of Alexandria Orthodontics. And she is also the owner and operator of there as well. And so what is really great about these two ladies is that they're both friends and they're both business owners and they both do what is in their business. So it's very different and very unique. So we're going to talk to them about the world of orthodontics, but then also what it's like to be a business owner right now. So ladies, how are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing well. Yeah.
Awesome. Making it. And also as a little side note, they also all have small children. So that's also a fun thing to throw into the mix. So how is everybody's families doing? Everybody doing great?
Everybody's
Making
good.
it?
Yeah.
We're surviving.
We had a new baby March 7th, so right before this all happened. So it's been interesting settling into that. And you know, as a business owner, you don't really get to take a maternity leave, at least not when you're the only one who can, you know, the office only works when we're here, as Katie knows. And so I plan to take a week off and then all of a sudden I got a 6-week maternity leave. So that's been kind of nice.
Hey, that's an excellent point too. Yeah. You got to spend some quality time with lots of kids and newborns. So we're just going to kind of jump right in. So, and whoever wants to answer first, just go for it. How has COVID-19 and the stay-at-home order affected the orthodontic world?
Yeah, so we in dentistry kind of got the brunt of this because we, you know, a lot of businesses were able to stay open or at least modify their operations to work from home and continue business more or less, you know, to some degree as usual. For dentistry, we were mandated to shut down by the Louisiana State Board of Dentistry middle of March. I think it was like March 17th. And so at that point, we could only see emergency dental procedures in our offices. And for general dentistry, that did allow them to do some procedures like if a patient's really in pain or has an abscess or, you know, a medical emergency, that could still be done. But for us in orthodontics, there really are no routine orthodontic procedures that are considered emergencies. And so we were 100% shut down, except for some very special cases. So it was very sudden and scary. But that's where we've been for the last 6 weeks. We did just get a new order this week that has now said that because we have seen some progress with flattening the curve, that we can start to see some patients that are considered time-sensitive procedures. And that's where really anyone in active orthodontic appliances does need to be monitored. And so that's something that we are going to be able to start doing in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it was a shock to have to completely shut down the office, but you know, overall you have to look at the bigger picture that this is just to keep our community safe, our families safe, our patients and their families safe. So that's been made the process easier to kind of get accustomed to and adjusted to it all. But also with, like Heather said, you know, active treatment, removing teeth. So there's a certain amount of time that I'm comfortable with not supervising treatment, but typically we see our patients every 6 weeks, and those patients that were ready to be seen right before we were shut down have now been out about 12 weeks. So I think it will be kind of interesting to see when we are able to open back up and get back to whatever the new normal will be, to see what awaits us. I think there'll be a lot of good, but some of those teeth may have moved, you know, if there were broken appliances or things along the way, that it might be something that we have to kind of work a little bit harder to get them back to where they were.
Yeah, and I think Katie, you and I had talked about that when we were just chit-chatting, and it's now you're going to have to see like, okay, now what do we have to go back and fix because of all of this? So how has this impacted how you guys are really reaching your clientele? I mean, you guys have a wide range of, you have kids, young adults, so you're having to talk to the parent, then you have adults. So how has that had to change?
I think everybody has been really awesome because they all realize that it's kind of out of our control. So, we've had our front desk team calling everybody and letting them know what our plans are, do their rescheduling, pushing appointments back. And, a lot of times the conversation is kind of a happy one because we're touching base with a little bit of normalcy in everybody's lives. So it's definitely changed the fact that we're not seeing our patients, and they're kind of like our work family. We get to know them. We spend years with these people and their families. So that's been a change, but it's been nice to know that everybody's in the same boat. They definitely have some other things available, which I'm not sure, Heather, if you're doing the virtual appointments and offering those sorts of things, but they do have some newer technology available for us to still see our patients, kind of like this Zoom meeting. But we haven't had to really do any of that just because there hasn't really been a need for it in our office.
Yeah, the response from our patients has been overwhelmingly positive, which has taken a large amount of the stress off of me personally.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So as two business owners, and I know Alexandria Orthodontics has been here for a while, but
it's over a year.
Okay. Yeah. Like they're fairly new. So how has this impacted a fairly new business of like getting the name out there and getting that clientele in?
Yeah. Well, we'll see, after all this is over. But we've been fortunate by now we've really we haven't done a lot of marketing so far. So it's been word of mouth. It's been from dentist referrals, it's been person to person referrals. And so, we will see. No one really knows what's going to happen when this is over. But judging from the phone calls we've gotten during the closure, it seems like we're going to be busy when we come back. So we'll see if that's the case.
Yeah, the community of Alexandria has been awesome and welcoming, I think, to both of us, Heather. And
yeah,
so I don't think there's going to be any concern. I think as soon as we're able to open back up, people are going to be ready to come see us, and that's great for us and for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Because I did a call with a mortgage company, and one of the big things that, like, again, I was talking to them about specifically their business, but one of the key things that I got out of that conversation was community. And they had nothing but pride and just joy about our small community. And I think, they talked about, sponsoring the T-ball teams and this, and I think there's not something that ever has happened in our small community where I don't see either one of your logos somewhere in there. And so it's great, that to see it now coming back to you, that the community is supporting both of you guys. So, and that's awesome. What are some things that you guys are both hoping to kind of take away from all of this situation?
I think this has been a gift of time. So a lot of times to reflect on the improvements that we want to do in our daily lives, but work lives, personal lives, and just to kind of slow down and appreciate what we have in front of us. And I think it's been kind of bittersweet thinking about going back to work, honestly, because it's been really nice to be at home with the kids and also to have that time with my work team and kind of, us support each other. There's been a lot of support teams that have come up between just work, family, even all of the other orthodontists in the area. I went to LSU for my residency program, and they've all reached out just across the state, making sure everybody's in a good place and answering any questions for difficult stuff, like trying to figure out all the new requirements or suggestions and recommendations of how we should continue forward. So it's been neat to see the support team and see all the love that we have around us and to take time and appreciate it all.
Yeah, it's been a huge time of growth. In December, I had read a book called Work the System. It's a business book about really, I love it, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And so it's just about, optimizing, like picking apart all the systems in your business and making each one better. And so therefore making the whole business better. So we had mapped out like 230 systems that we were going to write out what we do now and then how we can make them better. And it was such a daunting task to try to get work on those with seeing patients, during the week. And so it never seemed like we had the time to work on those. And so that, I don't want to, downplay the devastation that all this has caused, but, in our business, it's been really kind of a blessing to have this time to work on the business instead of just in the business like we typically have to do.
That was a great thing of, getting to work on the business and not just in. That's a great saying. And I think that's something that all business owners can really take away at this time. And Heather, I love that you mentioned that book. The book, by the way, and I'll kind of put that in the comments as well, is by Sam Carpenter. Josh Bonger, who works with Sam, is a dear friend of ours. I think Wayne is actually, if he hasn't done a video already with him, he is going to probably. And let me see if I can shift my computer really fast. You see all
I just listened to one of Josh's webinars earlier this week.
Oh yeah, we love it. There's a bunch of binders at the bottom of that. It's all of our systems and processes. So yeah, we love to hear that. That was great. Mm-hmm. Katie, I loved what you said about the support team that's come out of this. That's so awesome to hear that, where you graduated from, people are reaching out and checking in, saying how's it going, and then coming up with ideas of what's going to happen in the future. What is orthodontics going to look like in the future? And again, I love, I think I said this at the beginning, I love that both of you said, yeah, let's get on this call together because we're going to support each other. And it's not just like, well, I'm an orthodontics and she's an orthodontics, but you know me, I love teamwork. So that's
and that's been amazing. Like, so I, moved away for residency. I did my residency in Virginia and came back. I grew up in Alexandria, and so was really excited to come back home. But I also know orthodontists, my co-residents that went to other areas in the country, and it's so cutthroat. Like the competition is fierce between orthodontists, and I didn't know what it's going to be like coming back here. And like Katie has been just not only like accepted me coming back, but like has been so welcoming. And we help each other out. If we are going to be out of town, we cover each other and say, hey, if my team can't handle something, can I send my patient to your office for help? Like, it's just been that's been such a gift. So
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, I see it, we're colleagues, and it's another head. If I have a tough case that I'm struggling with, or vice versa, it's another person that has similar knowledge to me, but also might have a little bit different take on the situation, which helps me think outside the box and handle the more complex situation. Or if it turns out that in our discussions, I feel like Heather might actually be the better orthodontist to do the job, there's no hard feelings in making that referral to her so that she can, do the best for the patient, because that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all know I love both of you. So, but that's so great to hear too, just the camaraderie within your industry. And it really speaks to, what other business owners should be doing too. I've heard a lot of, I spoke with a real estate agent earlier, and she has said that, they have each reached out to each other on like, hey, I'm not sure how to do a virtual tour. Can you help? Yes, not a problem. And so I really think, and another thing we've gotten out of these videos is the amount of communication that this has opened up, that it's actually, people are now craving that face-to-face. So they're doing more Zoom meetings and more FaceTimes and things like that. So I love everything that y'all have said. It's awesome. Is there anything else that y'all want people to know, maybe even specifically about either one of your businesses? I know y'all were talking earlier about when you were actually opening. So if you guys want to go ahead and plug when your office will actually be opening, and then anything that you want your clients, future patients to either take away from this or just know in general.
So we'll be opening hopefully next Wednesday. As of Monday of next week, which is the 27th, I believe, of April. Losing track of time. But we should, as of next Monday, we're allowed to get back into active patient treatment. So hopefully by Wednesday we'll be ready. We've got some new kind of protocols that we're putting in order to make sure everything's safe for everyone, and kind of limits the number of people in the office and keeps our social distancing so we can keep everybody healthy. So hopefully we're back to whatever this new normal will be. To me, I think the biggest barrier is going to be that we have to wear masks. And we wore masks before, but now it's kind of a more stringent protocol. And so just know that underneath my mask, I'm smiling.
That's great. So yeah, we will be seeing patients starting Monday, May the 4th. So next week we'll be reaching out, rescheduling appointments that we've missed during this time. And I think Katie, this goes for you as well. But you know, when people think of like the major costs of like having children, there's college, and then there's buying their car. You know, maybe when they're 16, and then there's braces. So, you know, one thing during this time is that people I know are stressed financially. And so just knowing that we do do payment plans so that it's not as scary. So even if this is a stressful time, then maybe just come in and see us and talk to us. We don't charge consultations. And so just let's take a look and see how we can work with your budget.
Can't wait.
I think everybody's ready for, I'm sure there's going to be people who normally probably weren't excited to go get their braces fixed. They're probably like, yes, I'm getting out. I get to go get them fixed. So change my band color. I know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. I'm so excited that we got to talk to y'all as, again, not just in the orthodontics world, but as two strong women in the business world. So being business owners and things like that. So I hope everybody has a really great and wonderful day. I am going to put both Katie and Heather's contact information in the comments below for each of their businesses, as well as the dates that they are going to be opening. So I hope everybody has a great and wonderful rest of their day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, Jess.